Well, hello there, my friends, and welcome back to my room. It is the 11th of May, and time for another draw with Mikey. Oh, hooray! Now, immediate disclaimer, guys and girls, is that if you watched the last episode, you'll know that I went to the gym, and it turned out that going to the gym absolutely knackered me and kind of killed my general ability to draw vibe, oddly enough. And basically, I've been to the gym again today. After work, I went to the gym and then I've come back and I've started doing this. So, warning, it might also be incredibly awful. Now, I thought for today's episode, obviously, the whole point of this entire series is I just read you your comments. So get in the comments below if you want to tell me something, if you want me to read it out. And of course, grab your own paper, your own pens and stuff. Get on with your own artwork in the background and I'll just talk my way through another session. So anyway. What is going on? Well, I'm going to Ibiza again this year because I bloody love being an awful man on holiday. And what that sadly means is that I've got to start doing some exercise again, which I deeply, almost religiously, have feelings against. But it has to be done because as much as I love and respect Tom Scar, if you know his channel, some of you might remember when he was Finn. And I just don't want to end up really big doing a YouTube, because the thing about YouTube as a hobby is that it's great and it takes up a lot of time, but it means I have an office job where I sit down a lot, and now I do a lot of art on the side where I sit down a lot, so I've not had any natural opportunities to get exercise outside of a bedroom, so I need to really start clawing it back, thus me going to the gym. And the reason why I'm harping on about this is because it means I'm probably going to experiment a little bit. And next week's draw with Mikey, I might actually try to do that episode on Sunday. So if you guys have got anything to say in the comments section, go for it. Get it in nice and quick now before the weekend's finished. Because I might do the following episode then. Simply because I'm just getting shattered, basically. Come to work, come back, go to the gym, and eventually get in here. And all I want to do is really chill out. Not even draw that much after a long day. So yeah, that's what's going on, and that's why I'm talking about the gym. Anyway, let's get back to art and stuff and ting, and your comments at home. Murasaki Gangan says, may the fourth be with you, and also with you, the greater good. So that was obviously Star Trek Day on the 4th of May, where everybody celebrates Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Captain Kirk, and everyone has a great time, and they all dress up as their favourite Star Trek characters, obviously. So yeah, and I guess may the 6th be the Sith or something like that. Obviously I'm joking, but you know, c'est la vie. It was a good day for lots of fanos, of which, actually, you know what? I used to love Star Wars, like really loads. I've probably mentioned before, but I befriended someone simply so that I could get access to their older brother at school because he had the Star Wars box set. That sounds really creepy. That was a real thing that happened. So then I completely forgot that I actually hated it with all my heart because of all of the prequels. You know, there's, oh god, let's not even talk about it. I don't want to get angry whilst doing this episode. But yeah, the prequels sucked. And then J.J. Abrams, he came out, and I fucking loved that last Star Wars film. I won't lie. And I appreciate, I didn't care at all about the Death Star planet. It was the same thing. I didn't care about all the people that got murdered. I didn't even really care about the space battle either. But in terms of the other characters, I was in. I really enjoyed that. They did really well. Hats off. So yeah, I'm right back into Star Wars again. Excited for stuff and ting and where it's going to go in the future. Now, what am I doing in the sketchbook? Well, first, let's say Kuroko PHGT. Oh god, your names. He says first. Well done for being first. And 6.5 out of 10 IGN says, I hit next on the playlist and now draw Mickey Mouse came up. Cracked me up. Thought you'd appreciate that. Mickey Mouse Mouse. Ah, the other form of Mikey Mega Mega, of course, was Mickey Mouse Mouse. Really weirdly, like when I was starting YouTube, and I was just like, oh wow, I have a channel. I'm tubing for you. What do I do? And stuff like that. I searched for my name, and YouTube did its damnedest to autocorrect everything I looked for back to Mickey Mega, as in like Mickey Mouse stuff and Mickey's like Mega Castle of Illusion, all this sort of thing. So that was really weird. And now, if you type in Mikey Mega, it wants to say Mikey Mega Mega. Yay! YouTube popularity. It has no value, but I bloody love you guys anyway. Thanks for coming along. Brian Perry says, smiley face of shades. Cool, friend. Cool. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, so drawing in a sketchbook. Right, somebody, for the first time ever, wow, and I won't name them in full, but I will mention them in the actual video. Somebody on Patreon, my Patreon page where you get access to other stuff, you know what's going on there, actually took one of the higher tier rewards where they get to call the shots on the upcoming Sexy Anime Saturday. So this coming SAS is going to be a very particular request, and the guy involved requested a couple of characters from an existing anime, and they're both kind of older sister types, he kind of described them as. So what I'm just kind of playing around with at the moment is I'm going to be doing an SAS where it's going to have two girls in one picture. Not one cup, but two girls, one page. And it's not going to be like overtly sexual. It'll be the same kind of general level that you get in the SAS, you know, technically safe for everybody. But that kind of means that I have not drawn anything in particular in a very, very long time where I've dealt with two characters directly interacting. So I thought what I might as well do this episode in a sketchbook whilst I try to answer your comments. As usual, just as badly as ever and as unscripted and raw and full of swearing and spoilers as ever. But I'm going to just try to kind of get a feel for a couple, like, I know how to put it, like maybe Yuri poses, which is obviously a Japanese term for lesbian, I think, just as simple as that, something like that. But then I was just thinking, how could these two characters interact? And the particular anime that they're related to, I hadn't even seen before. So I had to get involved. Did I go on Crunchyroll or did I download it illicitly? I'm not sure. But basically I watched the first couple episodes of this particular anime, which is alright, by the way, and kind of got a feel for who those characters were. If not in terms of the anime, in terms of their, you know, trope stereotypes. Like, I know one's like sterner and more reserved than the other, and the other one's really outgoing but incredibly powerful anyway. So I kind of got a feel for which one of these two might be the most dominant out of the pair. And if we're going to sort of have them posing together or doing something, who'd be taking advantage to the other? Who'd be teaching the other, you know, how to relax and stuff like that, or how to get it going in a girl-girl situation? So that was quite cool, but it means that this SAS is actually also a commission. It's the open commission slot on a Patreon page, so obviously the person involved gets the art, so to speak. But the great thing about the open commission means that you guys get to see it as well, because I get to still make an SAS video out of the situation. But I just don't know exactly yet how I'm going to have the characters sort of be. You're obviously getting a bit of a feel for it now. Obviously, I'm thinking about maybe one will be coming up to the other, but not strictly so. Maybe it'll be a completely different scenario, a different picture, a different rhythm. That's exactly what I'm just playing around with here. Obviously not too long though, because it turns out now reading through your comments takes up most of these videos, and I love you for it. John Traven says, "Hi, you cheeky bastard. DBZ power-ups took like 10 episodes. You're fucking damn right they did. They were long. And people fighting and then finally unleashing their new final forms and then fighting some more. I mean, DBZ is amazing, but yeah, you really had to kind of sit in for the long run and kind of hope for the best." What else? Says Epic D times 10. Mikey. Hello, Epic. What's your favourite female anime and video game character? Oh, that's a good question. Excuse me, burping away off the back of drinking some delicious coffee. Make sure you've all got a cup of coffee or tea, you lovely people in real life. You can see right into the mug there. Oh, delicious. Thank goodness for coffee and tea. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. That's a good question, my friend. That's a good question. Let's have a little think. What would be... Okay, so let me think. What video game have I loved? Oh, you know what? I was thinking of playable characters. I know this is such an easy answer, but it's true. I really like Ellie from The Last of Us and how she developed. I think she's an incredibly strong young woman by the end of that game. That was really, really cool. And maybe... Is it Elizabeth from Bioshock Infinite? She's also quite cool. Not as developed as a character as Ellie, but also really, really strong. In anime, female favourite anime character. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you who I always quite liked is... Oh, and I can't even remember her name. How bad does this sound? Somebody get in the comments and answer this question for me. Cheers. You know the girl in Hunter x Hunter, obviously, fanboy. And she's got the Hoover that sucks everybody up. And she wears glasses and she's a little bit dumb. But she's like super, super cute as well. Yeah, I always quite liked her. So, yeah. But that can be the question back to the room, you lovely people working at home. Who is your favourite female anime or video game character? Get in the comments to let me know. And obviously, Epic D times 10. Who's yours? You haven't let me know who yours is, so I'd love to fucking hear it. What am I doing here? I'm just thinking about poses and various things that have to be technically safe for work, but can have a very strong Yuri element. So maybe something like this. Crotch open, but not facing camera, so it's kind of okay. Doop-a-doop-doop-doo, and we'll have a foot down there. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't keep drawing after the gym like this. It really, like, my head's in, I don't know how to put it, my head's in quite an active place. You get quite pumped at the gym if you do any exercise, and I barely have to do any to be pumped because I have zero fitness. But what that kind of means is that I come back out of there and I'm just like, yeah, let's go do stuff. And sitting down and being mellow and doing art doesn't really smoothly fit in with that, oddly enough. So I might have to kind of keep it on different days, or at least do this at a different time or go to the gym at a different time so they don't interrupt each other. Do you guys find that day-to-day stuff ever like gets in the way of your art? Not in terms of time, because obviously there's never enough for anybody when it comes to time in the world, but in terms of like, say you love doing art, but then if you've been like hanging around with your friends all afternoon, then you get home and you can't do art anymore because you're not in the right space in your head. Or maybe you're really into the art, but it turns out that if you are going to be doing something really cool at the weekend, maybe you're too distracted to actually get some art done or something like that. Or if you're going to go to cinema later, you can't really be that productive. I don't know, but I've never really thought too much about headspace in art and where you need to be at to kind of be productive, because I'm used to just doing it or not doing it, really. But yeah, going to the gym creates a completely different mental Mikey. Mikey mental. Oh no, that sounds like I'm actually crazy. I am a bit mental, but that wouldn't be a great theme for a YouTube channel. He's totally fucking crazy, man. He broke down on camera. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Yeah, we gotta watch it. Armin Egdami Drums. Hey Mikey. Hey Armin. I've always wondered if advanced artists like you, I'm not an advanced artist, but thank you very much for saying so, always exactly know how each little stroke is going to look in the end, like the strokes of folds of fabric or hair or something familiar or similar. For example, wow, I'm so shattered. I'm deeply lung tired from gym. I'll stop complaining about it now. You understand why I'm so short of breath. Blah blah blah. When Bob Ross puts on some paint on the canvas, it always looks kind of random and doesn't make much sense. But after a minute or so, those weird shapes exactly look like splashing water or rock reflecting off sunlight. Hope you know what I mean. Love the new sound equipment. Thank you very much. Thank you, my delicious friend. I'm glad you like the new sound. Just trying that out. So yeah, I completely get exactly what you're saying. Now, when it comes to building up your technical skill, you should really know exactly where you want each line to be, because you're thinking about each form and you're trying to make things correct and get your thinking correct and get your understanding correct. When it comes to random character design, I absolutely let the lines kind of guide me. I've got a rough idea of what I want. Maybe I want a character in a cloak with a massive sword that's on fire, Azor Ahai. Or maybe I want an assassin character who's going to have very light weaponry, very light armor, and be very leggy. Those might be my overall themes for the drawing, but then I will let the marks kind of decide, oh, I'm drawing something here, now they have a hood. Oh, now this character's sword is going to be in this hand, or he's also got a small dagger that goes with it, that also burns. So I'm happy to play around like that. When it comes to sketching like this, I am thinking about a form and a design. And I don't mind, because in this I'm just getting used to poses of characters together. I don't mind if the lines don't perfectly match the form, but the lines themselves are eventually going to be that form. That form is set. I want this character with their arms up. I'm going to draw some lines that's vaguely a hand and vaguely an arm, as long as the form that I'm trying out for is going to be all correct. In fact, this is going to be a body up here, and then this girl's going to be lying on her front, maybe something like that. So we'll get some bum over there. So yeah, that's totally okay. But yeah, when it comes to Bob Ross, oh man, what an incredible person. Absolutely, you can just mark the page in any way you want and just see what happens. That's a totally cool thing to do. And a totally legitimate episode probably in the future that I'll do of Draw of Mikey, where it's just mark the page, or maybe never let the pen leave the page for the entire episode and just draw whatever. You never know what's going on, but loads of options. So yeah, it's a real mixed bag. It depends on what my project is, what I'm doing, if I've already got the character perfectly in my head, or if I'm actually designing a character from scratch, and I don't mind what random nature's going to kind of throw into it. Yeah, what about you, though? By the way, every single person who's asking me a question on here, I want your answer to that question yourselves, actually. I want to read it next episode. Batmat42689, how do I make a cup of tea? Oh, fucking hell. I take that back, everybody. Don't answer all your own questions. How do you make a cup of tea? Well, first things first, did you kill yourself? KYS. No, just kidding. Obviously, you boil the kettle, you put the tea bag in the mug, you pour the boiling water over the tea bag. You don't flick the kettle off when it's boiling without it being completely done, because then you get semi-boiled scum water, and I'll know when you do it, and I'll hate you for it. Just drinking coffee, talking about tea, meta. And then, yeah, you boil it up and you fill it up a bit, and then you stir the tea bag a little bit, and then you put some milk in, and then you work out how dark you like it, and you stir the tea bag a bit more to make it a bit darker, or put in a little bit more milk to make it a little bit lighter, and then you take out the tea bag and live your life. If you put the tea bag in and then put milk on the tea bag before you've added water, you are a scumbag, and you're gonna go to hell, okay? I can't help you. It's over. It's over for you if you're someone who does that. So try not to be that kind of person. Colby Signer. Hello. Drawing after workout. Sounds like my cup of tea. Speaking of which, I need to get back into the groove a bit. Do get back into the groove, sir. I would encourage anyone to draw, because drawing is awesome, and I do obviously quite enjoy it. Drawing after the gym. If you've been listening to this episode, you know what my thoughts on that are. They're not as great as I'd hoped. Oh God. You don't have vowels in your name, man. It's just Y's. Harina I'm sorry, that's the best I've got for you. Harina Shinen said to explain exactly what I do. Oh, just talking about stuff in another video. Don't worry about it. Issues with motivation about drawing, the stress of life. Yeah, of course, man, absolutely. But everyone makes mistakes, and everyone gets into it and goes out of it. And just know that is the most normal thing in the world. If you draw solidly, if you drew perfectly, solidly, and happily every single day, like a machine, then one, I'd be really jealous of you, and two, I'd also burn you for being a witch, okay? Nobody's actually like that in real life. Everybody, even if it's stuff they've got like passions about, getting a motivation. It's a bit easier if you're passionate to get motivation, but it's not perfect. It doesn't automatically come every time, so don't stress. Find it when you're in the mood for it. And he also asks, would you draw a few male characters, skinny to muscular? Yeah, of course. I've talked about this before. It's on the to-do list. I've just got loads of female tutorials to get done first. Because believe it or not, when I was younger, before I started this YouTube channel, as far as I'm concerned, I could draw men pretty well, but I couldn't draw female anime characters to save my life. So then I really started practicing, and then here we are. And now, it's been a while since I've done some men, so this could get really awkward when that time eventually comes around. So let's have this character here, and then something like that. I think I might be making all the women in this a little bit too aggressive, but we'll see how we go. So there's going to be boob, but there's going to be like into boob. So if there's a boob, here's a boob. Great. Quote me on that if you like. If there's a boob, then here's a boob. Good boob knowledge. That's what you need. Okay, so start with never start a character from their boobs. That is a very bad sign. I need to then give this character a head now if it's not in a weird proportion to physically where their body is. So something like this. And then like that. And then kind of like that. Ooh. It's a bit awkward. Have I managed to get away with this? Bit of a sideways look. And then that boob shape's going to be right up in there. And then we'll just make sure that this character's covering. Oh yeah, another boob around there. Oh, that's a lot of interlocking boobage there. I really didn't think that through. So let's go something like that. Something like that. Excellent. And then, so this rib cage is going to go over here. This rib cage is going up round up here and yonder, up far to a bum circle of some sorts, and then so. And then this one will come round there, but then maybe this hip line's here. So what are we going to do about that? We're going to have dominant leg come off this side. Knee, lovely. And then this character under this side, the leg will come about up to there, something like that. Very difficult to kind of come up with these poses without working from reference images. I mean, I'm looking at loads of reference images off screen. Don't ask me what I put into my Google image search, by the way. But let's just see. I'm glad I'm doing this at home, not at work, where people could see. But otherwise, yeah, don't be scared of reference image. I use reference images all the time. Like, if that's not really clear, it needs to be. I'm always looking at other images to help me with poses, ideas, styles, even the draw simple easy that I do. I'm not making up those images from scratch. I'm looking for the most popular images I can find on the internet, and then I'm deconstructing them myself, and then teaching you how to draw them from that deconstruction that I do. Like, I look at it and I think, okay, I understand the proportions. Now I'll talk about it and make a quick video. But I assume everybody knows that, because it's usually really popular images that I pick from that sort of thing. This is kind of working, it's kind of not working. Maybe this character's going to be actually a little bit bored and maybe resting on, like so. Something like that. I need to kind of get used to these. Let's have a further look around and look at Mohammed Abraham's comment. Never really got into tea. Get out. Unsubscribe right now. Get out. I never want to see you again. But once tried to mix my tea with lemon. Since then I rarely miss morning tea. Oh, I take it back. I take it back. You're welcome, mate. If you're into morning tea, you're cool. All cool in my book. Udsway. I actually paint miniatures at the moment when I'm listening to this video. Awesome. If you're curious, you can have a look at my channel. Guess what, Udsway? I did. And it turns out that you are smashing up. When you say miniatures, the first thing I think, by the way, is Warhammer 40,000, which I've seen a few videos on near your channel. But I noticed you've done a lot of like Alien versus Colonial Marines. I didn't even realise they made miniatures of that, because I'm a bit out of touch. And I know they do like miniatures and stuff of maybe like Gundam and things, but I just never really got into it. Back in the day though, when I was a kid, I fucking loved Warhammer so much. I was always drawing or painting Warhammer miniatures. And basically, like, I'm too old now, like, I can't get into it. It's a real young lad's thing, but I'm really starting to think that, fuck it, I really might just get back into some Warhammer 40k. Not really to play the games, because it's not massively for me. Obviously, I had a few goes in my time, but just to, like, paint up a model army and then maybe just sell it, and then just, if I could sell it for, you know, at least as much as I bought it, I might just paint an army, sell it off so I don't have to have it sitting around the house. Paint another army, sell it off just for the satisfaction. Maybe start another channel. Mikey paints Warhammer. Mikey pretends he has a social life, but really just does Warhammer instead now. Yeah, I don't know. But your painting videos and all that sort of stuff was really good. I enjoyed having a look. I used to do paintings. I often listened to Amelia Autumn. Quite emotional music of a woman who had a really bad time living in an asylum. Oh, God, I don't want to listen to that. You know what? When I studied at uni, I went to... Have you ever heard the term Bedlam? It's Bedlam in here. Basically, that comes from an asylum called St. Mary of Bethlehem, and it was called Bedlam Asylum. And it was where, in the olden days, all the proper crazies went. And now it's still a mental asylum, but it's more of a, you know, a learning clinic institute sort of thing. But I went down there a while ago, and by a while ago, I mean years ago. And not as a patient, by the way, just as part of my studies about stuff and ting. I won't even get into it as long. It's just coursework. But yeah, I went down there and saw some people being pretty crazy. It's just part of how it is. You get used to that. Like, there's loads of carers around helping out, so it wasn't an issue. But a lot of the people who are residents there do art, and they have a gallery full of artwork, and a lot of it is dark stuff. Like, really, people who have been through like abuse or are just emotionally very messed up and mentally very messed up do a lot of very intriguing but deeply dark artwork. And this gallery is a really small space. So you'll be looking at quite a large picture, and it'll be like this painting of someone's mind all fragmented and stuff like that, and there's stuff happening inside, and it's all dark and creepy. But you're right up in it, like it's right up in your face, because you can't stand back too far to appreciate it at a distance. And I always kind of wondered if it's because if they did it on purpose, so you're forced to observe the art, you're forced to live it and have it right up in your face, because these people doing it have to live every day with like all their mental challenges, and they can't just step back and try to look at it clinically. They live in the moment, so all their art was presented at stuff. It was really, really cool. But yeah, like really, really dark as well. Okay, so these two kind of just chilling out, something like that. We'll have the other leg go down there. You know what's going on there, something like that. Is this even in focus? Oh God, thank goodness it is. This whole episode I did none of my regular camera phone panic checks to see if it's even recording. Just hope for the best, but I do need to pick up pace on your comments. Mikolaj Trepka. Hello, this video gave me the idea that you should maybe do a series where you draw, let's say, an anime character but with 5 or 6 perspectives. A lot of people draw what they see on screen, but they can't draw other perspectives of their favourite characters, including myself. Me too, friend. That would be cool. By the way, any advice how to start creating my own perspectives, not only trying to copy characters from the screen? Yes, and that advice is in most of the tutorials. My personal method, building blocks. The building blocks that make a face, a head, the building blocks that make up the shape of a body. Get the building blocks right, understand those building blocks, and you can put them together at all sorts of different angles. You can build up a character from these blocks at any kind of shape that you want. And then when you've got that out of the way, it's a framework. And then you just draw the character on top. That is my personal method, and I stand by it. And although like I've got my own style, and loads of other YouTubers have their own style that teaches art, you'll probably find that that's going to be quite a common theme. People build up the blocks of a character maybe first, then a little bit later might worry about putting the actual character and a design on top of it. So that's what I say, sir. Natalia Anastasio Galdino. Que maravilla. Yes, I don't really understand. Something about marvellousness, I think. So gracias. I love that you're along. I'm surprised if you can understand me, but I bloody love that you're here. Welcome. Darren Wood says, I was laughing at what I heard, but also enjoyed it. Oh, talking about me calling Urza Scarlet Ezra Scarlet. Yep, absolutely. I mentioned this last episode. I watched, I watched Fairy Tail. Didn't really pay attention. No, actually, I didn't watch it at all. I read Fairy Tail, the manga. Didn't really pay attention. Sort of sped through it. At first, I was just trying to work out if it was done by Odenon, the guy who does One Piece. I was like, I've seen this style of drawing before. It's definitely One Piece. And then eventually I got used to the fact that it wasn't. And it is, to be fair, a legitimately different, slightly technique. But yeah, I never really paid attention to people's names. You know when you speed through manga and you're not really appreciating it just because you need to kill some time? So, what am I getting at? Oh yeah. So then I just read it as Ezra, because my brain kind of says Ezra is a more common name than Urza, so you're reading it wrong. And ever since then, she was Ezra, and I will never go back. Always Ezra now. So, yeah, deal with it. Ezra Scarlet. Now, I think when it comes to two characters interacting, I should probably start with both of their heads, then their chest, like the main torso area. Obviously, a bit like how we sort of did bits like how we did the tutorials in order. How to draw a torso, how to draw limbs, how to draw boobs, how to draw head. So, maybe head, maybe torso. That's going to help me with the positioning of these bodies. I will watch other people's tutorials as well. That's like a great thing to do. I'm going to get on YouTube before I have a go at this Sexy Anime Saturday, and I'm going to watch other YouTube videos that might suggest how to draw characters interacting with each other, or characters in bed together, or something like that, if there's anything like that out there. And if not, then eventually I'll make one myself. Don't you worry, you know my score. But yeah, I find that so far, heads, then torsos together, then worry about the arms and how they're interacting with each other, I guess. So this shoulder will be a bit forward, and this arm can be a bit down, and then now this arm can kind of go up and around the back of the neck. Yeah, there we go. Better already. And then another bum here. Obviously, leg here. Knee over there. Not the best leg in the world. Get over it. And then maybe if they come down over here. Something like that. Something like that. Imagine all sorts of boobage pressed together, but I haven't particularly drawn it in this example. And then maybe on this side, if the legs are coming out, there'd be... Oh, yeah, of course, a foot would come out here. Something like that, at least. Anyway, what's going on with Little Bacchus? Loving all your stuff, and after 6+ years on YouTube... Oh, awesome, you're an old schooler. I've pressed the subscribe button. Oh, welcome on board, dude. Thank you very much. Question. Do you ever suffer art envy, or the lucky few that make art their livelihood? You know what? Maybe I did when I was a kid, and now I don't so much. So when I look at, and if it's the same for any of you guys, let me know. But when I look at other artists and say, like, there's an artist for a manga company or video game designers, I'll tell you what I really love: concept art. I'm a fucking sucker for concept art. If there's like a sci-fi film, I really want to see the artwork that never made it to final products, especially of Star Wars again. So yeah, like when I see concept artists, when I was younger, I used to think, oh, they're so lucky, I want to do that. And then maybe it's just an old man thing, but you live your own life, you know what? And like, I quite like living my life my way. I'd love to be a concept artist. That would be fucking amazing. But I don't look at other people and feel jealous of them. I look at them and I just feel inspired, if anything. When I see concept artists doing the dream job and just really doing it well and getting these ideas across for characters that have never been thought of before. I'm really impressed by them. I'm not jealous of them. I want to be a bit more like them. I'm inspired by it. So, yeah, that's the kind of good thing about it. I guess, well, I don't know if it's the same for anybody else, but like, there's not that much art jealousy. Just everything you see just inspires you to do more art. Maybe. Or at least personally for me. So, Little Bacchus, how is it for you? Answer in the comments below. Raft Production, this is by far the best page from the series. Referencing my shit page from before, Number One Swede says, remember me? No, goodbye. Miguel Blas says, Mikey, I'm about 16 years old. Should I still be copying or should I improve my own art? Dude, don't let age is just a number. Just improve all the time. Draw whatever you want, but focus on trying to be better if you can. It will help you out loads. Della Rosa Art, you've been catching up on my videos, sir. Thank you very much. Drawing one specific character at a time and then in loads of different poses. Done 9 in total since watching your videos. Very cool. Upload them onto YouTube if you can, sir. I'd love to see that kind of thing. How are we doing for time? Ooh, we're nearly going to come to the end of this video. It's going to cut out any moment and then I'll have a little extra bit. So let's focus on comments. Sam the Kid made a 4th be with you and also with you. Bagua, Mikey, I want to get better at drawing my own characters. How should I go about that? Life, Google Images, shapes, don't know what to do. Get involved in my art frequently asked questions video. I answer that in some detail there. I hope that's of some help because I can't get into a full answer here, mate. Dementa Equilibrium, you mentioned my comment. Yay, and I've mentioned it again. Charles Sketch, what advice can you give when trying to come up with your own characters? Oh, 2 of you. Without them looking like yourself every time. Imagine their personalities. I talked about this in something else. I can't quite remember what it was. Oh yeah, how to gender bend a character. Come up with your own characters in your head. Give them a bit of a backstory then. I want to just draw a schoolgirl. Not good enough. Tell yourself, I want to draw a schoolgirl. But she does hockey. She's really active and she's kind of aggressive. And if anything, that puts off the boys. So she gets kind of frustrated about it. Think up a character like that. Give them some backstory. That will help you loads. Or just draw some random shapes and turn it into a freaky weapon that ends up being on Naruto because it's massive. And then just make up some bullshit backstory in the end. Oh, Naruto. Infective Gombies. Drawing whilst listening to your lovely voice is really relaxing. Cheers. This is not a lovely voice, but I do really appreciate the sentiment. Thank you very much. Oh, and you've done like... Oh, this cool moody retro samurai girl with a really film noir vibe about it on your... What am I looking at? Twitter. Excellent. Very, very good. Oh, it's Tokyo Ghoul. Excellent stuff. I'm very impressed. Nico Juju, I love tea with a passion. Good, and that's why I love you. Do you have any favourite... I have no idea, by the way, because you've got like an avatar of a female anime character and a weird name. You could be like a 40-year-old guy, you could be a 5-year-old girl. In either case, I love you platonically. Do you have any favourite flavours that you drink? I usually just have chamomile, green tea, peppermint, lavender. Ugh! No, too much hassle. PG tips, pyramid bags, that's all I need. I can't be faffing with it. Sometimes peppermint tea or green tea if I'm trying to be really fit and healthy, but they always smell better than they taste. So, you know, I don't like being let down emotionally like that, so I stick with good old tea. Brandon Flores, draw Lady J, Valkyrie Drive, please. Here's a link. Let's look at this. Please don't be a loud link. Oh, it's just a Google image link. Oh. Oh my god. I have never heard of Valkyrie Drive, but immediately I can see what attracts people to it. There are 2 great big reasons on 2 characters that probably make this really popular. Oh man, I don't need to do a Sexy Anime Saturday version of that. Just, even on its own, it's already incredibly risky. I mean, fan service is not a word. I'm going to definitely look at that later. I will give the anime a cheeky watch. Good suggestion. And also Super Pochat Show. Oh, you know what, the one from Supersonico. Heartless Guy number 17 asked for another SAS request. Declan asked for Tatsumaki. Louis says penning and colouring is what I'm most afraid of in art. It's tough, mate. I know it, absolutely. Finn the Fishbowl says, I got so sad with the draw of Mikey and... Oh, hey, oh. Matthew Munoz, I have a suggestion. Since you started gender swapping characters, why not try to draw teen or adult versions of female child anime characters? I love it. I love that, sir. That's a great idea. Okay. New option. Sexy Anime Saturdays are obviously name me a female anime or video game character and I'll do a sexy version for fun. If you name a male character, I will do a gender swap version. But now, if you name a young character, seeing as I'm not a pedophile and I don't want to go to prison, I'm not going to draw like a sexy lolicon version. But if it is a young character, I will imagine them grown up. That's lots of fun. I love that suggestion, Matthew. Thank you very much. Brandon Flores, I'm going to guess you're 1/4 English, 1/4 Canadian, 1/4 Mexican, and 1/4 Australian or Scottish. You've done really well there. 1/4 English, correct? 1/4 Mexican. I'm not actually at all Mexican. I'm from somewhere south of the border, a little bit genetically, but it wasn't Mexico. And Australian. I know I've got a weird nasally accent. People have thought I'm from a Kiwi before or something like that. But no. But good guesses. AMV Wonderland says, I like to make drawing videos too, but I don't know how to make them. Can you show me how? No, other people show you that on YouTube. Watch their videos, mate. But I'm just recording on a camera phone and just talk a lot. That's what happens, and then upload it. And Tim, know your business. Always cool to see your work, Mikey. Cheers, Tim. Got a question. Have you ever drawn Gundam or made one? No to both of those things. I never got massively into Gundam. Sip of coffee, excuse me. I think I watched 00, the fairly new one from the late 2010, something like that. So I understand the concept, but no, and maybe I will one day. But it looks a lot like technical drafting as opposed to drawing, because everything's a straight line. And I did enough of that at uni for buildings and studies and all that sort of stuff. So maybe, maybe not. Or maybe do an SAS Gundam. Although, would that be freaky, creepy? Sexy mecha? Can it be done? Oh, has it been done? Yeah, it'll be a Rule 34 somewhere. I won't Google image search that right now. So that's it. I've made my way through your delicious comments. Thank you very much, you lovely people. There's not going to be much to happen in a time lapse for two reasons. One, I'm just practicing on poses of two interacting characters, so I might fill up a few more in the gaps. That'll be it. And two, it is getting late. I am very tired from the gym. I'm not kidding when I'm moaning about that. I kind of really want to go to bed, as much as I love you delicious people. And yeah, so just to recap, I might have to do this on a Sunday instead next time round. Just so I've got it out of the way in a day when I'm really in a mood to do it, because I always want to draw on a Sunday, especially if the sun's shining. And it means that I can kind of try to go to the gym and not be a fat bastard for my summer holiday in the week. So yeah, if you've got something to say it sooner than later if you could. If it doesn't work, just let me know in the comments if you don't like it, and sure, we'll work something out together. But I would love to know what you guys are drawing at home. I would love to know what your guys at home's favourite female anime character is. Obviously, if you've reached it this far, you know it. You are the hardcore crew, and I bloody love you. Peace, you people, and I'll say goodbye right at the end. Okay guys, so welcome back. Really just nothing much added on. Just wanted to try out another combination of poses here and there. And you know what? I think I've learnt something in this very short period of time already. When it comes to this kind of, Yuri Lesbian-y kind of vibe, I think an image has a bit more oomph and quality if you have the faces quite near each other. The more you catch like an intimate moment with the composition, I think it just has more power. So all these jumping on people from behind and grabbing boobs is fine, but like the actual leaning in for the kiss, especially when characters aren't quite the same height, so one character has to reach up a bit as the other one looks down. This kind of close body work, anything with interlinked fingers, I think has a bit more power as an image. And yeah, basically I need to get some more practice in of characters together and work on the SAS. Quick further disclaimer, I'm sure I've done a disclaimer already, is that this is a commission, so it's going to be to the SAS standard, but it might not strictly be out on time, simply because if I don't think it's right, then I'm not going to rush it, because someone has quite legitimately paid for this. But as ever, you lovely people, thanks for so many things, such as me using the word in between every sentence. And also many thanks for making it all the way to the end of the episode. I'm going a little bit crazy. I need to go to bed. I love your faces. Oh, wow, I'm actually Philip DeFranco. And I'll see you guys next time round. Peace and love. Bye-bye.